Oh yeah, absolutely I do. With Ragtag RimWorld. You would think after watching 11 streamers explain the rules to their own communities, it would be in my head, right? Um, so everybody started with a RimWorld save file, a .crt put together by the one, the only Alana Orama over there. And it had 5 colonists. All of the colonists had traits that were representative of us competitors in it. And Alana also put together like a little base as a little starter base and some starter research already done. And the goal was just to get the wealthiest colony possible within 10 hours of gameplay. It was Phoebe's Strive to Survive, commitment mode, and if you wiped, you could restart, but that did not restart your 10 hours. And then there was a cheeky surprise in there that I think maybe Alana can talk about just how much of a surprise that was.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Tony. That was perfect. So we wanted to be cheeky, but we didn't know how cheeky we were being. So Tony and I had never run a scenario like this before. And one of the things we decided, or I suggested, and Tony agreed, was to do all the pawns exploding upon death. We thought that when we get raided, or if someone in the colony dies, they'd explode, and it would be like this extra element of chaos. We did not know that pawn meant all animals, and all people, and all mechanoids.
Yeah. So when the first hunt happened, as it often does as you're trying to gather food, the little squirrel suddenly became much more dangerous.
Yeah. Exploding in your face. Melee became quite dangerous. There's a little bit of mention of that from some of the streamers that are used to just meleeing a lot, and then they're like, oh, this is rough. Hi, Boo. Hi, Dawn.
The natural biology on the planet just has much more methane in their farts. Love that.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, that was good. I really liked that. And I really loved there was some folks who were in the challenge who like learned that through either watching your stream or whatever. Yeah. But then some folks at least a couple of them didn't know it ahead of time. And that was my favorite bit was watching them not know.
Yeah, we ended up revealing it in the Discord after my stream because some folks had watched the stream and some hadn't. So we felt like everyone being on at least what seemed like an equal standing would be the best for starting out. So we did share it. Yes, I did feed the dog this morning, Emo. So we kind of wanted to make sure that everyone was on the same footing. So we ended up dropping that reveal. I also let everyone know what my wealth total was. I was the first person to participate. And as the person that created the save file and one of the hosts, you know, I'm not a proper contestant, right? I can't be a winner of any of the awards. So what that meant to me was why not share my total with everyone and give them something that they should try to beat, right? And let's just say that it definitely encouraged some folks and it maybe discouraged some folks.
Yeah. Alana's really good at RimWorld, gang. So
I love how my auto mod wanted to disallow the word gun.
Oh, that's like an actual problem. You may, if we want to have him in this channel, you may have to.
Oh, we permitted it. Yeah. We permitted it. It's fine with me, but it's just like, what?
My husband's problematic. Okay.
I love it. It's so good. You don't have to accept me. MJ, am I flipping my hair again without realizing it? Yeah, so I think that was pretty cool. I think for the most part, all of the streamers were like, I think some of them were a little bit like overwhelmed by the cheeky surprise. Let's say that. We had very different skill levels coming into the event, and we knew that. So we always knew it was like for fun and like shouldn't be taken too seriously. If we really wanted every single person to be a try hard, we would probably have set people to be the same experience level, but it's not that kind of thing.
Yeah.
For me, and I think for Toady too, it's more fun that we're just like coming together with a similar thing in mind and just like having goofs.
We love some goofs.
We love some goofs.
Yeah.
And RimWorld's so hard just in general that challenges are so hard.
Yes. I think, yeah. Oh, I can't do maths real quick. For example,
streamer math is like actually harder.
Oh, the worst. But as an example, in the quote skill difference, my wealth total was less than half of Alana's.
Yeah. But your hours are probably less than half of mine too.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think I did like 6 hours or so, but then I got a funny number.
Like all-time experience.
Oh,
like in the
yes.
game. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing is we had some folks that are even less experienced than you, Toady, I believe. Some of the participants that we welcomed in were only have 100, 200 hours in the game. And as most of you know, there's quite a learning curve in RimWorld, and you're still learning a lot. I feel like I'm learning a lot, and I'm probably hitting my 3,000 this weekend. So
yeah, that's so cool. I think I'm like close-ish to 100, but RimWorld
You're closest to 100.
Or 1,000.
I was gonna say, I was like, I feel like I've seen you stream more than 100 hours.
It's really early.
I was literally like, wow, Toady, you're so good at the game.
Yeah. No,
that makes sense. 1,000 is about where I thought you would be. Yeah. Because you definitely know what's going on, but like some of the more late game stuff is like a lot.
Oh, yeah. And it's changed so much since I started the game. Like, RimWorld was actually my first love, like way before City Skylines. So I'm still stuck in like, yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah, but then I still just remember strats from like alpha or beta.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
And
we were talking about that, like when like pillboxes worked like without a doubt every time, and and when Merciless was like the equivalent of like Strive to Survive.
Yeah, I miss those days. I really do.
I know. But that's why I think it's important that people play like at a difficulty that makes sense for them, that you play ways that make sense for you. Like in my first 1,000 hours or so, I reloaded when I wanted to. I played something, I would try something, I'd have a raid and I'd be like, we're gonna do a quick save. And then I would save, try the raid one way, and then reload, try it a different way, and hope that I was more successful at the second attempt, right?
Yeah, all the time. Still do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Golf, yes. So Golf had a good question, and I just want to read it out. So we did share the save in my Discord. If anyone is a follower of this channel and wants to get the save file, we can definitely do it there. We could also, if Toady wants to drop it in your Discord, you can. Just so people can grab it if they're more from your community than mine. They don't have to jump into mine. But yeah, we'll share that in Toady's as well. And then it's already in mine in a Ragtag viewers thread. So you have to look for a thread under RimWorld.
And is tomorrow something for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we were going to look at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, so later stream, because I'm going to be working on my taxes in the morning and hopefully
hooray.
Well, I actually am a nerd about taxes, but it's like definitely worse as self-employed. But anyway, it's fine.
Yes. Did ours last weekend.
Yeah, like I feel like because I know what I'm doing, I put it off a lot really bad, but then that's the exact reason I shouldn't.
Yeah. There we go. Okay.
We have a cat. Hi, actually pretty
facetious.
happy. Facetious?
Yeah, or face, because that's a lot to swallow.
I love that word though.
Yeah. And it really is representative of his personality. But he says hi, chat. Actually, he probably says feed me is probably what he's saying.
It sounds like my cat. Yeah, Golf, for sure. It does help, for sure. So 1 p.m. tomorrow, we're going to be talking about what some of the viewers did. So some of the people in my Discord took attempts at the same challenge that the streamers did. And I wanted to separate it out just because, Yeah, it's kind of a different thing. It's not like the same. It's not really like a proper like challenge as much as just people having fun with it. The viewers were able to take as many attempts as they wanted throughout the month.
Nice.
So there were actually a few people that did a few. We had one person that dropped a time lapse of their colony that didn't submit their final wealth, but dropped a time lapse that I want to show. So yeah, so there's lots of cool stuff we'll look at tomorrow, and we'll just have a couple hours of that. If I finish our tax return before stream, then we'll keep going into some gaming after that. But if I don't finish our taxes, then I'll just have a like short stream.
So you hear that, chat? Be here tomorrow. Twitch.tv/Alana Orama.
Thank you, Tony. You started today just for fun. Yeah, we were talking about there's numerous of us who almost wanted to do it again. And
I would love to try without the explosions.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. You could get a pretty similar starting scenario.
Yeah.
You could definitely copy over like the research and stuff and kind of give yourself the same buildings. What I did was I used dev mode, and there's a button for God mode, and you can use that to just automatically build things. So I used that to put up the structures, and then that way time wasn't spent on getting the original structures.
Right.
Just taxes category. Oh my gosh. I made a spreadsheet for my run. This turns me on a little.
I really love Excel.
Spreadsheets are really good. I made a spreadsheet for Ragtag, but then we turned it into that beautiful link tree that y'all see there. So I didn't really maintain it because the link tree was a better way to do it, but I'm just double checking our rules. Okay, so last thing, I don't know if Toady specifically said it, but it is vanilla, no DLCs. And there was something else I wanted to add. I don't know. I think we got everything for the rules.
Yeah.
Okay. Does that mean you want to show the first thing?
I think
the first thing.
I think to recap everything that Alana and I have said, and to generate maybe a couple giggles, we could show chat a video. Okay.
Yes. I think we start with the one that you did.
I think so, yeah.
Based on, well, plans and stuff.
Today we...
What? So I am getting that ready. I just want to make sure that we're on like a proper full screen and stuff.
Buckle up, chat.
Oh, I hope you're ready for this.
Going for a ride.
It's gonna be good. Okay. And I'll get rid of our little ragtag banner. So, like I said, shout to Toady right here, who you should all be following by now. But if you're not, mods, please give Toady. Oh, Toady's link is right there. Perfect. Please go give Toady a follow because she's absolutely incredible. She does both Twitch stuff and also is a hacking legend on YouTube.
Please.
I mean, I think she's awesome. You should all definitely go check out both of Toady's channels, all of Toady's channels, and make sure, you're following, things like that. So here's Toady's video. Enjoy, friends.
Today, we are participating in the RimWorld event, Ragtag Race to Riches.
G'day, and welcome to the stream.
Ragtag Race to the Riches.
Ragtag RimWorld is a challenge started by Ilana, and this challenge in particular is called Race to Riches.
So for Ragtag RimWorld, there are not a lot of rules, but we did establish some rules.
The rules, as I kind of understand them,
anyone who's participating starts with the same save file. So we're not passing a save file, we're all just starting with the same one.
We all start with the same save file. We're not passing it along, which was a point of confusion for me.
There's 11 different streamers, including myself. We all are loading from the save file.
The pawns have already been pre-selected.
The goal is that you can play up to 10 hours in the save file.
The Phoebe Storyteller, I don't know which one that is.
we're going to be on Phoebe Strive to Survive.
Strive to Survive.
You cannot tell Alana that I've done this, but I am cheating on the mods front.
This is vanilla. There's no mods. There's no DLCs.
I have 2 mods installed.
We're doing completely vanilla, so no DLC at all.
One is Don't Stop the Music, and the other one is P Music.
And we're having no mods, all vanilla, no DLCs, none of it.
She'll never know.
and the wealthiest colony at the end of the 10 hours wins.
Get as much riches as you can.
Okay, so we're playing RimWorld, and there's 11 streamers, and we're trying to get to the thing.
I don't actually know how this is gonna go. I haven't played vanilla in quite some time.
Yeah, I'm a very competitive person, so I'm going to be sweating and tryharding and using all of my RimWorld expertise to try and succeed and try and win, because I desperately need to win.
As you guys know, I like to build everything out of marble anyway, so I feel like this is a competition that we should basically just have in the bag.
I'm a little bit scared. And Alana said, oh, we'll do Strive to Survive because we don't want it to be too hard for anybody. And I'm like, yeah, that would be horrible for... Yeah, we wouldn't want that to be too hard for anybody.
We're gonna be the richest colony of the other 10 streamers, and y'all are gonna be amazed. Nobody's realized it, but for the last year, I've practiced getting the wealthiest of colonies, and it's worked mostly, I would say. Mostly worked, yes.
We're gonna do whatever we can to build and protect our colony's wealth
We should basically just win it.
by any means necessary.
Yeah, the RimWorld challenge does sound fun and hard.
I don't think I'm gonna win this.
I never play wealthy colonies.
Oh my gosh. Panicking? Panicking? What am I doing?
I actively avoid trying to build wealthy colonies, so I'm sure I'm gonna lose.
I don't even know how to be wealthy.
I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm not the best RimWorld player, but
This is gonna be my drug empire, with possibly a side of art on the side.
Why are you on fire? How are you on fire? Why are you on fire?
Why? Wait a minute. Are you telling me that for purposes of this game, the animals count as pawns as well?
As much as you can. So that is the twist, chat. That is the twist, is that every creature explodes.
Once in the morning, and also... Okay, that probably wasn't the smartest.
Come on, Bob, please. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Cool.
To finish...
Are you down to be a distraction, baby? But don't distract me. Let me ask you, baby, do you? Do you? Do you?
I'm sorry. What the fuck was that? Why did the squirrel blow up? So, the person that's running this event said that there was, quote unquote, a, let me look up the words here, a cheeky surprise. I think our surprise is that every animal explodes.
Oh my, what? Okay. Okay. So there's explosions when things die. Okay.
3, 2, how dare you? Oh god, why is he on fire? Oh my god, because they explode on death. Ilana?
This is, by the way, this Alana organized this. Shout out to Alana for organizing this.
Hello. Y'all probably saw some of my
Recommendations.
Yeah. Oh no! Don't shout me out. We're in my own channel. Hello. Whoa. So yeah, Toady did an awesome job with that video. I love it so much. It's so good.
I mean, the subject matter was pretty great. People make me laugh
Yeah.
very much.
Yeah, it was a really good idea to compile the initial explosions and then also to do the rules like you did. I just really adored it. Tova!
Hello.
Hi. We did just say hi until that was done. Yeah, I mean, I guess I was just thinking some of you that have intros, they could have gone off, but I didn't hear any. It's fine. Moss Queen, hello. Sorry.
Vero in the chat there is one of
Oh.
the fine folks who did not know necessarily ahead of her run that things went boom. And that was incredibly fun to witness. So thank you for that, Vero. That was great.
Super fun. Hi, Vero. Good to see you.
Mhm.
You did yours right at the beginning. That's true. Pacific Hero, hello. So Vero Wack was one of the participants. And did really well, I think. I mean, we'll see all that later, but
yeah.
Vera did very well. Okay, so let's go ahead and do you want to open up RimWorld to talk about RimWorld wealth stuff? Like open someone's colony, maybe?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Let's open up Virax's colony. And I'm gonna bring back our faces because I removed them because we were blocking your awesome video. And I wasn't okay with it. Okay, so like there's all sorts of things here, but where's Veerwack? Here we go. Drugs are us from Veerwack. I love it.
All those colony names are so ridiculous.
Big up, Steven. Hi, friend. Good to see you. So this is pretty funny that Veerwack was like, yeah, this raid's bad. I'm just gonna submit it here. Honestly, that's a great move. You still had a lot of people alive. So here's the thing about wealth that I wanted to talk about today. So I don't know everything about wealth, and I think it's important to note that. So if anyone in chat has any like corrections or whatever, let me know. Oh, hi, Jim. Jim, also one of the lovely participants and one of my favorite streamers. Please go follow Jim as well. So I know, Jim, you mentioned this. I think Veerwax's the same way. Toady probably the same way. That like no one did a research on what wealth is.
Oh, yeah, no.
Right. I did, because I did before Rimianship. So if anyone doesn't know about Rimianship is a German RimWorld competition that I was invited to join this year. I guess last year, technically now. And, you know, they translated some things for me for sure, but I was with a few other English speakers. We participated in this challenge with like 120, 130 streamers. And it was huge. And it was 12 hours. Losing is fun, Cassandra, but it was a mod that created like this whole additional challenge that was the Blood God, and it was it was very intense. It was very hardcore. And you had to do the whole 12 hours in one sitting.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So I researched for that, and I had a lot of fun participating. And I'm super proud of myself for landing 26th out of so many creators. I think that's really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was really hard. It was really hard. And I submitted my save. I want to say I submitted my save at like 10 hours, 11 hours. I didn't make it to the end. The colony was going to die. And I didn't want to have a restart, so I just saved where I was. So knowing that and taking inspiration from that event, I was like, I would love to do a wealth challenge that isn't quite that hardcore.
Yeah.
That is more like what we did, Strive to Survive, Phoebe. With Rivianship, I had to like sacrifice colonists to keep the Blood God happy, and I was trying to... Yeah, it was really, really hard. And I loved it, but it was super hard. So for this Rimianship inspired event, I wanted to make it a little bit more approachable, but we still wanted it to be challenging, which is why we decided on the cheeky surprise combined with Phoebe Strive to Survive. Okay, so wealth. What does wealth include? You look at this, right? And you see couple things in the bottom here. It says wealth total, wealth items, wealth buildings, and wealth creatures. So obviously wealth includes everything, including your colonists, your animals, if you have animals alive. It doesn't look like Veerwack does. Oh wait, Ibex Ram. There we go. Ibex Ram is alive. So your animals would count, your colonists would count, all of your buildings, and all of the items in your stockpiles. But one thing I think a lot of people don't know is that everything counts. I don't think that's always been the case. Maybe Jim can correct me. I believe that once upon a time, raider loot and things that you didn't haul in didn't count towards your colony wealth, but they do now. So let's say you deconstruct these and leave it out here. Let's say there's a timber wolf lying dead on the ground, right? All that counts towards your wealth. So raider loot counts towards your wealth. Mine steel that isn't in your stockpiles counts towards your wealth. The only thing that doesn't count towards your wealth is these ruined structures until you claim them. Because you haven't claimed them, they don't count towards wealth. Were you going to say something, Tony?
No, just that makes the claim button make a lot of sense to exist.
Yeah, because it brings it into your colony then, whereas it didn't before. So you could deconstruct it, and then all the resources would count, even if they're laying over here. What's inside the Ancient Danger, I believe, doesn't count because it's in Fog of War. Unclaimed items and unharvested crops. So any crops that are unharvested like this don't have any value, is what you're saying?
Oh, interesting.
I guess that makes sense. So if you were, if you had the time, right, and you were in a peaceful state before submitting, you would maybe want to do a quick harvest of your crops. Now, in Virwex's case, she submitted at the right time. She saw where her colony was heading and was like, I'm going to submit now.
Poor Vero.
Yeah. Honestly, though, I will admit that there was two common things. One, everyone kept forgetting about the explosions and then getting into situations where an explosion happened and was like, oh, crap, that was bad. And it was every single person from what I saw. And two, it was a maximum of 10 hours. No one was required to go 10 hours. And if you got to a really good place like this and you saw the colony was potentially going under, it's smart to submit. Everything was fine until the massive raid, yeah. And they have, like, really good weaponry. I didn't even see that. So is there anything else on wealth that we should talk about? Like, how about with corpses? So let's say your raiders have gear on them and die. Now, the tainted gear is worth a lot less, right? But it's still worth something on your map. But then when they degrade into like a rotten corpse and then just like a skeleton, those clothes disappear, right? So then that wealth disappears. So we can look at it in a minute, but basically like I actually like created a freezer and I put raider corpses in a freezer to preserve their body's wealth.
So smart.
Also because I wanted my animals to eat it, but they didn't really. They knew better. We're just resting on the ground. Big Up is like, I am fine. This is fine. I'm like, why can't I zoom in more? No mods. I'm only partially on fire. It's fine. Yeah, you're great. Oh, frostbite scar and on fire.
Oh, yeah. You're healing your frostbite.
Okay, so what did Jim say? Never did a wealth run in 8 years. Yeah, that makes sense, Jim. I don't think anyone else had. I think I was the only one that's ever attempted a wealth run. And as we said, I wasn't really a real contestant because I set up the save. And I knew what all the awards were, even the secret ones. So you'll see why it would totally have been rigged if I was in it. And no idea it counted towards wealth. Yeah, that's why we wanted to have a quick minute where we talked about it. I do think, Jim says, I do think there was a time when anything not in your stockpiles didn't count, right? Including being able to trade with traders. Yeah, for sure, Jim. And I thought so as well, and I knew that you played a little while longer than me. Like, I think you have at least like a year or more. So I figured you might know that. Hi, Rain. Thanks for the lurk.
I remember having to have something be within a stockpile to be able to trade it.
Yeah.
With a trader. I remember that.
I remember that
too. To be honest, I think if I wasn't having this conversation right now, I would probably just assume that's the case because I'm still stuck in forever
No, for sure.
ago.
And even people that haven't been playing it for years, like us, they come up with that same idea because you can't trade something to a trader if it's not in one of your stockpiles, right? The second part of what Jim said. So Ever, you'll see it in a bit, but Ever actually tried to put a stockpile down to cover like half the map to see if it added more things into the colony wealth. And it didn't work because of what we're talking about, this change. I think it was a post 1.0 change.
Yeah.
I feel like that change was either made with 1.0 release or one of the subsequent game changing.
Yeah. I don't know. Are there no achievements for RimWorld? I guess
there
not.
are 0, yeah.
I usually use them to figure out when I purchase the game because I don't know how to figure out when you got the game.
I looked in my email for the email from Steam that was like, "Hey, thanks for purchasing this game."
Yeah, wow.
I don't know if there's another way, but Emo and I got it on the exact same day, and I can't remember if he introduced it to me or if I introduced it to him, and I always wonder because he has like 50 hours in the game, and it's an obsession of mine.
Yeah, Gunt and I are like that. Gunt is the reason I got City Skylines.
Oh, wow.
I never wanted it. He had it, and he was like, "You should try this." I'm like, "No, that looks dumb." And then, however many months later, I finally tried it, and so now it's my shtick. And then I think RimWorld is kind of similar as well. I think Gunt was playing it before me, and he said, "You should try this," and it became my first love.
Yeah, that's fair. I want to make a quick note. 1, Jim's been playing since 2015. That's amazing. And 2, today is technically April Fool's Day. I would prefer if we keep April Fools out of the chat since we're doing a special stream, and some folks do not like April Fool's goofs, and some folks it could be triggering or problematic for them. So normally I'm all about the goofs and whatnot, but some folks are making a choice to be here today that wouldn't be normally due to April Fools and wanting to avoid April Fools. So I'm just asking that we focus on the RimWorld stuff. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Right, Jim?
Yeah.
Jim's my man. Oh, that's weird to say. I said it, Jim. I'm sorry.
Sometimes it just comes out like that.
Yeah.
Okay, February 28th, 2020 is when you bought RimWorld. Nice. Wow, Tova, you put in a lot of hours for a couple years.
Still trying to figure out.
Watson says I'll remain silent. Understood. Yeah, no, goofs are fine. We're just not doing April Fool's stuff. That's what I meant. Just because some people don't like those prank-like things. Some of the save files are foolish enough as is. Exactly, Golf. Cody, hi. Okay. Afternoon, right? Right? Okay, so we talked about wealth, and I think if anyone has any questions, don't hesitate to ask. You could definitely, take your raiders, and you could, strip them and burn the apparel and do all these things to mitigate wealth. But in this case, if you're trying to add to your wealth, preserving the bodies technically does do something. There's another thing we should talk about here. We have a lot of sculptures here in storage. And
do they have a difference in wealth if they're stored versus placed?
I don't believe so unless they're damaged.
Right, that makes sense.
Does anyone know? Yeah, so Tova's on the spectrum, and we're just trying to be respectful. Exactly. And Tova, I'm really glad that you're vocal about these things with me. It means a lot to me because, communication is key. So Gypsy Man, beautiful MJ. Oh, wow. Ms. Nemo has 2016.
Yeah,
Dang.
I was just going to say, I finally found mine, 12th of November, 2016.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All of you that go back so far with RimWorld. Helenova, hi. Yes, exactly. Respect. So does anyone know about the buildings? I believe that the only factor between it being installed and uninstalled is in raid points, not overall wealth.
Oh, are those two different things?
Yes, raid points are different than wealth. So this is another interesting thing that I learned from Adam versus Everything's videos on YouTube. While I was researching for Rimianship, was that raid point calculation is different than just pure wealth. It's pretty similar, but one of the biggest things he said was that items or buildings only count. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, chat. But buildings only count towards raid points half. So the wealth of an installed building, like 196 for this sculpture, only gives you half the raid points. So like, what's that? Like 98 or whatever? 98 would go towards raid points. But this uninstalled one, counting as an item, would fully go towards raid points.
Interesting.
I believe that's correct. You bought it in 2017. No way. There we go. Being installed makes it worth half the raid points. So Squid just confirmed. So raid point calculation-wise, there's a difference. In terms of overall value, there isn't.
Wait, so if you install it, it's less raid points. Oh, that's so interesting.
So one of my strats, knowing this, Toady, was to build a lot of things. To put a lot of wealth in buildings so the raids wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah. That's so cool. I'm looking at the wiki now too.
Yeah, everyone's like, let's check things out. Oh, that's terrible. I should have installed all the structures. Yeah, but also like the other reason why I like to install the sculptures is to make the rooms even nicer. But like, you did have a very impressive barracks. I don't know. Yeah,
more on that very impressive barracks later.
Yeah, exactly. August 25th, 2016 for gun. Red Hero, hi again. Easier to grab and steal if they're uninstalled, I guess. That's true.
So it took Gunt 3 months to convince me to buy RimWorld then. Interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
But Gunt hasn't played it as much as you, right?
Oh, actually, I'd be curious about that. He's put quite a few hours into it.
Third purchase game on Steam. That's why.
Yeah. Same. It's very early in my purchases. Oh, my very first Steam. Okay, this is way off topic, but I'm so excited to be able to see this. My very first Steam purchase was apparently Stardew Valley.
How did you check that? Look at your emails.
I have my Steam open, and then at the top right, it's got like your picture and your name and a drop-down menu, and then you click on account details from there, and then you can click on purchase history. And it shows you everything. And so it shows me that I bought City Skylines 2 years after RimWorld.
That's wild.
It's so cool. Oh, I'm so okay. Totally off track. I'm so sorry, but it's very interesting.
I don't mind. Wait, where was it in here? Oh, purchase history. I want to see what my first game was. Oh, okay. That kind of makes sense. But my first games are kind of lame because I haven't played them that much.
Gunt has more hours than me.
My first game purchased on Steam was Terraria.
Way cool.
But
that's a good call.
I didn't play it that much. And then RimWorld was 2018. I purchased it like a month or two before 1.0 release, so not really early access, but technically early access.
Yeah.
Jim needs to check now. You want to know what I want to know what your first Steam game is, Jim.
Yes.
953 hours for Gun. Oh, that is a lot. That's good.
Oh, nice, Warner. That's so fun.
Monkey Island, great. Okay, so then I think next step was just like looking at people's strategies for what they tried for wealth. So since we're on VRX, we'll look at this one first.
Yep.
Let me just switch to a proper game capture so you just see it more fully. Okay, so we don't want to unpause because of obvious reasons, but we have a lot of sculptures, right? So Vera was like really focused on putting out art.
Yes.
But
much art to be had.
It's not just art. It looks like Vero had a lot of strategies as she was trying to work on like all at once, right? So there's lots of clothing here in the corners, like appears to be turning like all of the extra leathers and stuff into clothing.
She originally said she was going to be a drug empire, right? So do we see drugs, or did they
Yeah.
get into it all?
What happened to the drug empire?
Where are the drugs?
Here, it would be this one. Oh, there's some drugs.
Oh yeah, you can look up there. Right.
151 yayo, or is that yayo? Yeah, yayo. That's
Nice.
probably a lot of wealth. I don't know where it is.
Winter was a problem. Yes.
Oh, here. 21 each and 150. That's a solid strat.
Yeah.
Winter on this tile was hard for everyone.
Yeah.
Especially
my
with
thought-
hunting.
Yeah, exactly. My thought going into this, because I knew about things blowing up, I was like, okay, I can't hunt, so I have to grow everything. So I focused most of my growing on food.
Yeah.
And not drugs.
Yeah.
What a responsible decision.
Well, I also tried to grow, didn't have enough growing, then tried to hunt my first winter. And then when I ran into issues with that, I believe I ended up making an indoor grow space. Winter was a problem, yeah.
Yeah. We had to do that as well. We did the indoor growing as like a panicky option because we were starving. There was quite a bit of starving through our winter. Oh. Yeah. So Vero was the drug empire. And we were also going to look at everyone's defense as well, I think.
Yes.
Vero's got a cool little kill box, or two kill boxes, actually.
Yeah, it looks like a couple options, which is actually a pretty cool strat. So these are just trap hallways, right? With fences, so her people don't step over the traps, but the raiders will be forced to go into all the traps.
Yeah.
And there's there's 4 of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool because you could, if like all the traps are down on one of them, you could like close the door and then use another one.
Oh, smart. Yes.
And then just some simple barricades to stand behind, which is always nice to have more cover than the enemy does. Another thing that I think is interesting is I want to ask about this, Vera. Were you just trying to open up mountain to get resources, or were you trying to create like centers for infestations?
I miss when kill boxes, to respond to Pretty Happy, I miss when kill boxes worked perfectly because they were the only way that I could like survive in the game. But I think it's very much a me
Personal
problem.
preference,
I'm so bad at combat.
I also really like kill boxes, but I don't mind that the game has things that don't work with them, and it makes me rethink. For me, it is not a fun killer. I believe that we all just got to play like what works for us, you know?
Yeah.
But I do know you're not alone in that feeling. Actually, Pretty Happy. As someone that put out a kill boxes video on YouTube, I got a lot of comments about how cheese ruins the game and this and that. And I'm like, it's how you want to play. If you want to cheese a little, you can cheese a little. In this contest, we were allowing some cheese. We didn't restrict anyone on what kinds of vanilla-based defenses they could use. Let's go ahead and switch to another one. You ready to switch to another one?
Yeah.
Okay. We have to like save them all because of the way that it works.
Right.
Let's look at mine next, just because I went first. And mine is like, I went first and I did a couple things that we can talk about more later, but just focusing on like, I guess my strategy and defenses like we're doing with everyone. One of my strats was definitely to recruit everyone possible. I had 14 colonists by the end. Could have had 15, but I lost one.
Right. Devastating.
Which y'all will see. I lost one. This is the indoor grow space. Nothing fancy, literally just a sun lamp warmed up so it can grow through the winter. I am doing a little bit of smoke leaf and psychoid. I actually don't have food growing in here at all, which means I was pretty dependent on meat. So I actually did do a lot of manual hunting, but the reason why I liked that was because I turned leathers into dusters and armchairs and stuff.
Yeah.
Now,
I
to
like
me,
that you have
Go ahead.
that you have thrumbo horns as melee weapons, because those are super valuable, but also good for stabby.
Yeah. And when I got the thrombos, I was like, I have to take them on because of the leathers, right? So, you know, we made some thrombo for dusters. Whenever someone had a creativity inspiration, remember the starting colonists included 2 tortured artists, so regular creativity inspirations. I always use them.
Yeah, smart.
So I'm trying to think. I don't really remember what I used them on, but we have like excellent sculpture. Yeah, I don't really remember. I probably made like, I wonder if any of the weapons are fancy. Excellent quality.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know, but I would have tried to use it on something that, oh, here you go. So this would have been one. I made this excellent quality by using an inspiration on it.
Yeah.
I built a lot. I went for buildings for sure.
Yeah. I think you are probably one of the bases that has like the most area covered with buildings, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely it's pretty big. I also went for the Ancient Danger. I thought that was a source of wealth that I couldn't really leave untapped. Yeah. I cut a lot of trees and tried to do a lot of art with wood because I figured it was a pretty unlimited resource. I made them like bedrooms. I tried to make some of the bedrooms kind of fancy. Mostly, though, a lot of my time was spent just generally like trying to survive and expand the colony. And then, like I said, doing some, when possible, doing some tailoring. Making like parkas. Like I never make parkas, but I have a bunch of parkas here, probably because I was just trying to get more wealth.
Yeah, yeah.
And then one thing someone in the community mentioned, which I normally don't do, is they said, oh, well, you should actually be doing simple meals forever because meals are worth more than raw food.
Right. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So at the end, it was a little too late, but I tried to start making simple meals out of everything.
Yeah. And you fed your colonists paste, right? You didn't let your colonists eat anything delightful.
I had all but PSM, which means if I made fine meals, they would have been able to eat them, but I never made any fine meals. And as you can see, most of the simple meals are forbidden. So even though I made them, I didn't let them eat them.
Yeah, that's horrible.
I'm so mean.
I don't think I've ever
used paste.
Fed my colonists paste. Yeah, I don't know. I never thought to, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's fair. It uses less nutrients per meal. Yeah. So that's part of why it's good for this strat. Really, It depends if you have a cook. If I don't have a cook, I'll use paste. But if I do have a cook, I would prefer not to.
Yeah.
Lastly, one of my strats was animals. A lot of people didn't get any animals. I have tons of animals, including a pet mega scarab.
Nice.
Cool.
I didn't know you could do that in vanilla.
Yep. And I have Ilana Kugurama. Oh, they attack you the whole time you're trying to tame them.
Yeah.
Yeah. They fight back, but you could maybe get one eventually. I have Nunia, who's a husky, and my most proud one is Mega Slotho-Rama.
So good.
Why does it say slaughter? Don't slaughter. Not that I'm playing this again, but what the heck, game? Yeah, the colonists, I think, was one of my biggest things. The animals, probably another thing. If you look at this number of animals, there's got to be some decent wealth in that, right? 100 for just a raccoon. And I didn't, have all these animals the entire time. One of the things at the end, in this winter, was I just started, taming all the animals I could tame. Because I was like, we don't have to feed them forever. We have to feed them until I hit 10 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes so much sense. At the beginning of my run, I had every intention of doing animals, but I ended up eating them because I couldn't feed them. So
yeah. I was also, I will admit, part of it was also me being a little bit worried about slaughtering. So the reason why I still have a squirrel was because I was like, if we slaughter this squirrel, it will explode in our face.
Yeah, totally. Yep.
So yeah, this is my colony, and if I had been a contestant, I maybe would have won a couple of categories, but because I knew all of the categories and whatnot, we're not counting mine as a real option. Did I miss anything? There's a mood debuff for pace, correct, but you can offset it if you give them bedrooms. So for me, it's kind of like you don't want to use pace if your people are in a impressive barracks, because then they still have a negative from the impressive barracks. But if you give them bedrooms, then you can get away with pace because they have a boost from the bedrooms. So ever beat Ilana. Technically, no one beat me because I wasn't in it.
We do have categories to go over, and
Yeah.
we will discuss where Alana would have landed in them.
Yes.
But you just get to sit tight. We're getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's open up Jim's next, because Jim was here. Jim is here.
Jim.
Jim was making fine meals. His pace is awesome on lower difficulties. Well, I don't know. Your colony is in very good shape, Jim.
Yeah.
Very good shape. We got 10 colonists, royal beds, extra royal beds, plant pots everywhere.
Yeah.
Legendary. You mined like everything on the map, it looks like. That's such a good strat that I didn't even think about.
Yeah.
Super smart. And one of the things that I really liked was at the end, Jim was just like, throw all the blocks in these weird stelly things.
Yeah.
And I feel like there was some other stuff too. Oh yeah, the chess tables, plasteel chess table, poor quality plasteel chess table worth 500 silver. Amazing.
Yeah. Genius.
So at the end, Jim was really building a lot, which is a super smart strategy when you have a lot of resources just sitting around, right? Jim had all that steel on the map that hasn't even been done. Look at all these like standing lamps. Like Jim's like anything. You can build it, build it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Jim did do the Ancient Danger. And looks like Jim pretty much got everything out of that. I am curious, did Jim claim the structures on the map? Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Jim looked like Jim had good strats. Didn't expect any less, of course, but this looks really solid. Oh, we talked about this too. Making shelves out of stone because it's worth more.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thing. So I made all my shelves out of wood, but the stone ones are worth more. But then we were talking about, well, is it worth the time spent on stone cutting when you could be doing something else? There's a lot of min-maxing you could do with this. Luckily, it wasn't really a min-maxy group.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that pressureful.
Well, and I think like even if we're saying Jim did not min-max, like the payoff of the effort that he did put into it is very clear. Like this is a very successful colony for the challenges that were presented.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Jim did use a kill box for sure, and it worked well, I think. But in general, there's plenty of defensive situations that you can't use that kill box, and you just have to be on your toes. Okay. Anything else on Jim's?
I don't think so.
All my food was gone by the end. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it looks like you weren't too worried about maintaining food supplies, so you were focusing on all the other stuff. Like, who cares if they have a meal tomorrow? We're stopping today.
Yeah, exactly.
And then smooth stone floors? Yeah. Smooth stone is worth a lot.
Makes so much sense.
It's worth more than the stone tile.
Yeah. And then the same with the walls, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure. Toxic fallout that ruined my wood production. Oh, oof. The only thing with my run being so long ago is I don't really remember what all happened to me.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Let's pull up Bopper.
Bippity bops.
So pre-rolls are on, but I'm waiting. We'll take a break after we look at the colonies, and then we can do a little ad thing to turn off the pre-rolls.
Did many of the streamers ally up the rough
I don't think
Outlanders?
so.
I don't think so. I don't know if I had some prisoners that I considered releasing to try to because I was so worried about combat. My thing going into it, I was so worried about combat, and so I was like, maybe I can become allies with people to make that happen less often. But
yeah,
I felt like I wouldn't have enough time to like capture people and then heal them and then release them often enough or
Yeah.
whatever to do it. So
Yeah, and it looks like Bobber actually made one of them an enemy somehow.
What a
No,
Bopper
that
thing
makes
to
sense.
do.
That makes sense. I think it is the time restraint is very different than if you just had like an open-ended one.
Yeah.
You can put stone on top of smooth floored. I think you get wealth from both. That's wild.
Interesting, Tova.
My first
Neat.
attempt, I had a drop rate in my storage room. All the shelves burned. No more wood shelves. That's fair. So we have
I do.
Sorry, go
I
ahead.
like just Bop's wooden floors.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
All the wood. Remember, too, Bopper had a restart. So this is just a couple hours into the colony, if anyone was wondering about the size.
True.
Bopper is pretty new to the game and wanted to join in for fun. And I think actually this colony looks pretty good. There's a nice little trap hallway, some barricade or sandbags to stand behind.
Yeah. And he had growing in hydroponics, which is totally smart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good little layout.
That looks good. A lot of
Mhm.
art going in here to make the dining room a little bit nicer. I think, don't you need chairs to use a table?
I think so.
I thought you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe he just brought them in because he thought that unclaimed out here, they wouldn't have been worth anything.
Mm-hmm. Ooh,
No.
Tova says no.
No.
Interesting.
I thought you needed chairs. Being so new to the game. I agree. And, you know, I think Bopper, like, jumping in was just really cool because he wasn't, like, he knew that he was very new to the game, but he's been really vibing with it, so he wanted to give it a shot, and I think that's fun.
Yeah, I love that.
They're just way
Bibbidi-bop.
less likely to eat at it without chairs. Oh, interesting. Little
Yeah,
chimney
he's got
here.
pretty large bedrooms as well for each of his folks.
Oh, yeah, these are nice.
Yeah.
Nice
Yeah,
big
double
bedrooms.
beds for everybody, the table side and the dresser for everybody, plant pot for everybody, urns or whatever those other things are called that you get from the structures. Love that.
It looks like if they were clean, they would all be decent.
Yeah.
But because they're dirty, they're a little bit awful. But that's also kind of how
games-
like early game goes, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, he's still got the 5 people, right? So
Yeah.
they're probably all doing stuff rather than cleaning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hi, Homer.
Hey, Homer. Neat.
Oh, nice. The way he handled it made it feel like he's experienced. That's really cool to hear.
Bops is a pretty like laid back dude. Sorry, one sec.
You're okay. Yeah, and like his attitude about it, I think was really good.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Wheeljack? Burns? Okay. Good job, Bops. Strategy-wise, we obviously don't see as much work towards the strategy, but there is art and obviously lots of year-round growing.
Mm-hmm.
Exclamation Ragtag. So Ragtag, we introduced it a little bit at the beginning, but Ragtag is a streamer event where 11 streamers got together. I organized the first one, and then Toady joined me to organize this one. The first one we did like 1,000 Boomy challenge, and we all worked on the same save file by passing it one to the next. Yeah.
That was fun, yeah.
This one, we all started with the same save file and played it up to 10 hours to see who could get the highest wealth. So we're kind of looking at the various colonies that everyone did. Like, here's Toadie's.
Oh. We don't need to stick around on this one for long. I didn't really get anything exciting happening with this. I think my biggest downfall was being so afraid of combat. And so I was
you
very
usually play on like a bit of a lower difficulty, right?
Honestly, if I'm playing
Peaceful.
like not on stream and I'm just playing for myself, I play on like Randy Base Builder.
Oh yeah, sure.
I just like building pretty
You like
bases
building.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. Honestly, I get that. And I think it's really important for people to recognize like where they're happy and not try to
Yeah.
like do something
Totally.
and ruin the game for themselves.
Yeah.
I
But
do
I
like
get
that
her
you got
going on this.
some hydroponics going, which is nice to see
Yeah.
for food.
Yeah. I did claim the structures, but I originally was thinking like for the first, 7 or 8 hours, I would just play the game and try to survive. And then
Mhm.
I was gonna actually go for wealth on like the last 2 hours. to try to like not have as many raids at the beginning. But then I got to like a really funny wealth number and I was like, all right, I'm done. So I never got to that end part. So
69, 420.
yeah,
Basically.
yeah, exactly.
We'll
Right,
round
Jim?
it.
There's so many different ways of doing it. Especially now, like when you get ideology in there and you just get to tell some really cool stories with your hippie blood-sucking villagers or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So fun. Yeah.
Absolutely. Building
Yep, yep,
things
yep.
don't love losing. Losing is not fun for everyone. Challenge modes are not fun for everyone. I think it's really important that you figure out where your happy place is and stay there.
Yeah.
I played Adventure Story for probably like 3 years before I ever tried the harder difficulties that I play today.
Mm-hmm.
It's very impressive. So let's talk strats. So we got barricades to stand behind with some traps. Love to see traps. So even though you didn't do walls, I do notice some pretty decent things here to help protect you and kind of help like give your colonists a chance, right? The turrets at the 3 main areas and traps. And then you have this area where there aren't the turrets, but that's where you have a really nice setup that they will be slow to approach. And you have more traps. And traps are very effective and very cheap, especially when made with wood.
Tried to just like be able to do everything from a distance. Hi, Smokin'. Because I didn't want to deal with the explosions. But then you can see like my freezer's empty. This is just April, May. It's just out of the winter, so freezer's empty. I had to murder all my poor little animals to eat and.
Well, and the thing that we were finding with hunting was like you could go out here and hunt this ibex ram, but like if this person hunts it, shoots it, it gets down, they walk up to it to finish it off, and then they're under fire. So what a lot of people were finding was 1, they're getting attacked by predators more than they're used to, and 2, they're having to manually like manage hunting. And that explodey part of this challenge did add that.
It was a total game changer, which was really fun. Even from the perspective of someone who is poor at combat and like all that sort of thing, it really added that kind of like forced fun part of it for me. It was great.
Yeah. Hi, Bloodless. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for lurks. I love using water and mud for my defense. Yeah, so water is actually a really cool strat because they can't walk through the deep water, but they are 30% in the marsh and 30% in the shallow water. So they would approach and then they'd have to walk 30% speed around to get to you. So you have all this extra time to shoot at them if they're coming this way. And because of the turrets over here, depending on the type of raider, they might come for the turrets or they might avoid the turrets and come over here. So I like to see your defenses. They look good. I mean, I know you also... because you don't play on super hard modes, I think these look like really decent. For people that play on Builder, usually they aren't able to come up with those. So that's why I think they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Very nice, Toady.
Yeah.
I think we might have time to look at one more quickly before a quick little break we'll take. So this is HR's second colony, or I think second or third. Interesting. I see the fire foam right in the like hallway, the maze hallway. That's funny. Yeah, there's blight over all the crops. You love that. Foes on fire.
What a shame.
Squid died in this room and everything's on fire. So HR just submitted it.
Yeah. Aww.
The vault for all their riches. Now, notice this was a strategy of HR's.
Right. He did a lot of organ business. I love that. And again, that just speaks volumes to RimWorld, right? We've got people making money on drugs. We've got people making money on like welcoming people into their colony. And then we have people harvesting organs.
Well, I welcome people into my colony, but the ones I didn't welcome, I also stored and froze for later.
Right. Yep. Yeah. The duality of man.
Yeah. But yeah, so he went for organs. And the thing that's crazy about going for organs is every time that he organ harvested someone to death, they exploded. So like his doctor was like constantly taking damage. So he created these prison cells that were like separated and had fire foam in them.
Oh, funny.
Pretty good, yeah.
I love that. I love that for him. Thank you, HR, for that experience. It
Yeah.
is so amazing that we can like pull up this save with the game paused. We see Squid dead. We see Foe on fire, laying down, all sad, and
Yeah.
we like can look at the save paused and we can see this story unfold.
I know,
Like
I
the
love it.
prisons. It's so good.
All right, well, the ad is going to start here soon. So do you want to just take a break and then we'll come back?
Absolutely.
Let's take a quick break. We'll do maybe some interactive games, and then we'll just be back in a minute.
Yeah.
RimWorld? I think I know it.
Really, really small point of interest, and again, totally off topic, but it turns out Gunt got City Skylines over a year before I did, so it took him over a year to convince me to play it, and now it's literally my job.
That's
funny.
wild.
Yeah.
See, I think
Yeah.
it's funny that like I think Emo introduced it to me, RimWorld, that is.
Yeah.
And it's basically my job.
Yeah.
But like it was the same day. Like he found it, introduced it to me, and then we both started playing it.
Oh, that's awesome. Have you guys ever done the multiplayer mod together?
We have not.
Gunt and I have, and we really enjoy it.
Little secret, my husband doesn't like RimWorld that much.
Emo.
He has like 40 hours in the game.
He's banned in your chat, right?
Yeah, totally banned. Definitely not a mod. So actually Emo has streamed a little bit of RimWorld here on my channel. We did put him to the keyboard once.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's still learning. Like I think he recognizes how cool the game it is. It's just he plays a very different type of game.
Sure. Yeah.
What a monster, not like RimWorld. Yeah, but then he also is the person that like supported me in my decision to like quit my career and focus on content creation in RimWorld.
Right.
Stuff, so.
Can we get like
Kinda
some
cool.
hugs and squishes and consensual loving for Emo?
Exactly. We got to give him lots of credit because he's also watching my son right now, so I can
Yeah.
play with you all.
What a good lad.
Finally, Cave got through the first night in 7 days and switched to RimWorld. Curse you, Ilana. I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah. So good.
He also finished Subnautica for me. That's true. I couldn't finish my Subnautica run. It was too scary.
That's kind of him. Gunt, once when I first got VR, there's like little kind of introductory VR things that you can do, and you can get little trophies. And one of them was just playing carnival games, but it was like a scary carnival world. And I couldn't do it in VR, but I really wanted the little teddy bear that came for it. So Gunt did it for me.
Oh, I love that. That's
Yeah.
cute. That's cute. See, good partners just support each other in whatever way you need it. Sometimes it's finishing a little bit of a video game for us.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, that's true.
All of the organs, all of them are fine. Well, except for like one lung. And then I
Yeah.
noticed this heart that's at 80%. And it's like, well, I wonder why that would happen, right? So when he took one organ, HR that is, they didn't explode, right? But when he took something like a heart or a second lung, the prisoner would explode and he would have to put out the fire. And some of that,
Right.
I wonder, actually, 765 for a 76% lung.
That's, that's quite a bit.
I know. I wonder if it went down. Yeah. So it actually does decrease the value by being damaged like that.
Yeah. Yeah. $1,000 a lung.
Yeah.
All right.
HR is not very experienced in the game. HR did really great given his experience levels. Good job, HR.
Yeah.
And thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having such a great story of your colony.
Oh my gosh. There were so many. There were several great stories in HR's for sure. Now, I know
Which one's
Jazzy X
this?
is mad about this. This is Jazzy X's colony. This is what was, 7 hours. It was a good run until it wasn't, right? It just like so many things. It was good until something made it bad, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Lots
actually
of
not
fun area.
sure.
Oh, look at the drugs.
Oh yeah, Jazz did go for a drug empire, and we have 835 flake
Yeah. All right. Well, that's a good weekend.
at $14 a pop.
Yeah. Wow.
Never
Nicely
forget the
done.
Buffalo sandbags. We can't forget the Buffalo sandbags.
Oh yeah.
Jazz also did pace and was super mad about it. Does not like doing paste. Did not want to do paste, but did paste in the end. Probably because I think her cook died. I think that's what led to it.
Right. How much is one Muffalo sandbag worth?
Yeah, so actually, Jads was mad about this, but I did think that it would probably make it worth more.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a value
It doesn't have
here.
a value.
I feel like it does have a value. It's just because you can't like sell it, that there's nothing listed.
Makes sense.
I would think it would be worth more than a cloth one for sure.
I would think so, yeah. But yeah, this looks like exactly what you said. It looks like it was going really well until things hit the fan. And it looks like on the defense side of things, I don't see kill boxes, right? Or are there any turrets or anything? So it kind of looks like she was just vibing.
Yeah, so I think what we have here, from what I can see, is that this side is kind of open and potentially risky, but that you could stand here as like a choke point or something, right? But in the explosion run, a choke point's risky because of the melee explosions, right? But so she could stand here and like fight like this bear or whatever. And then over here, she actually has something where it kind of funnels them to slowly walk over the sandbags, and then she would stand behind these.
Right.
Very basic defenses for like starting out, right?
Yeah.
I don't see any turrets. I did notice that some of the people, I don't know that everyone realized how much was like researched off the bat.
Yeah.
I think some people saw that like later than others.
Yeah.
What I observed from this was I saw man-hunting red foxes. And the man-hunting red foxes took out at least one person that was having a mental break. And market value 14. Okay, so those Muffalo sandbags, each one is like worth the same as like a flake. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
They're arranged in such a way that they repel demons, vampires, and evil spirits too, I think. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too.
Yeah.
To repel the evil spirits within you. Yeah, Jad's also had, there was, I want to say these rooms were, this room was on fire or something, but she had the bright idea of building there was a wooden door here, and she didn't want the fire to move through the wooden door into what was in the room, so she threw up a wall on the other side of the door, which is really smart, right?
That is smart, yeah. Yeah.
So the door would catch fire, and then everything in the next room would catch fire. So that's what this wall that we're seeing here is. That was to block the fire from spreading.
Right.
And I didn't get to watch a lot of the streams, but I did see that, and I did think that was a smart move. But yeah, drugs was Jazz's main approach. No animals. And, you know, the colony's pretty big. She did smooth all of this stone, too.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is cool. So if anyone doesn't know Jadzzy X, absolutely go check out Jadzzy X.
Do it. You're legally obligated now.
Yeah, you definitely are. Then we have Drongo. And Drongo also did very well.
The creamers.
Yeah. Drongo's colony is big, established, 9 colonists.
Tidy.
Yeah, tidy. There's like some animals.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of shelves. Wow. Shelves everywhere.
Yeah.
Bunch of marble, extra dressers, like fancy floors all over. Smooth stone in the kill box. Why not? Yeah. This is a cool looking defense. So Drongo has always been really good with defense systems. And this is just like pathing them through the water so they walk slowly. And then you have barricades here. But as they get closer, you can drop back here through the door.
Yep.
And then stand here. Now they have to walk through traps and slow down over fences while you get to shoot at them. And then in theory, if you needed to, you could retreat again through this door and hold like a choke point.
Yeah. And
That's
the way he's
incredible.
got that little layout is oh my goodness. He's got it set up so that it doesn't take your colonists forever to get to their places as well.
Yeah,
which I
yeah.
think is
It's
really
not
important.
very far from where they're like, it's actually really close to where they're working and living. It's a very efficient base.
Yeah.
The thing that's the furthest is like food storage and stockpile storage,
Yeah.
or like these things, but those you'd only go to once in a while.
Yeah.
The
I would
only
guess the man knows
thing-
how to play RimWorld.
Yeah, the only thing was that I know Drongo probably isn't here himself, but I know from talking to him about his run, because I popped in towards the end, that he was disappointed in some things with his plan. He planned it out very well, and he
Yeah.
had a lot of stuff researched that he didn't get to use. So
Yeah.
he researched marine armor, but I don't think he ended up being able to make it for his colonists, that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
He did, like Jim, successfully take on the Ancient Danger. I also successfully took on the Ancient Danger. There's a lot of wealth wrapped up inside there, so I do think that that's a good strat
Yeah.
for this kind of thing. Looks like he just ignored this.
I opened it and I dealt with the bugs in there, but I was
Yeah.
too scared again
open.
of bad guys to open the caskets or whatever they're called.
No, that's fair.
Um,
And I think it's also a fair strat to like open it, deal with the first danger, and then consider going back for the second.
Yeah.
Wow, I've been lurking. This is a great build. This one, yeah, Drungo's really good. Drungo knows what's up. And I really, like I said, I really like the efficiency of this. This is a very like efficient, it feels very efficient as a base. I'm not sure what these are. What is this?
Bugs maybe?
Simple meals?
Oh. I don't know. No, Dom, we're leaving that. We're doing the final category awards at the end. So I think we are going to go through the rest of the colonies. And then Alana put together a video as well. And then we'll go over the categories.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're getting pretty close. I think it might be a prison. I think you might be right that he would just like, if he needed it, throw down a floor spot and then drop meals in there for them. That, or I was thinking, but I didn't see it. I was thinking almost that he had like this be able to be opened up into here in case his animals were starving, but that's not the case.
Yeah.
No worries, Don. Totally understandable. So yeah, I think his biggest thing was he tried to research things that he didn't necessarily get to do, but overall he did really well, had some really solid strats. And, you know, even just like these buildings that he put together at the end, these like extra buildings.
Totally.
I think that adds up.
Yep.
So good job, Django. And thank you as well for joining. I mean, thank you everyone for doing it. I honestly. Let's look at Jess next because Jess was up next. But yeah, it's just so cool having so many people come together. I got really nervous. Like I knew Toady was down to help me organize it, and so I knew I wasn't gonna be completely alone. But I had that moment where I was like, no one's gonna join us, and like we're gonna invite them, and then they're gonna know we tried to do this, and it's not gonna happen. And you know those like worries that you have when you're trying to put something together with a bunch of people. But no, we had a ton of people who were interested in doing it, including Wojess, who actually did it twice. So
and look at this colony.
This was Wojess's first attempt. And Wojess is very experienced in this game. And the first attempt didn't feel like it went well for her. She kept feeling like Phoebe was out to get her. And so she actually streamed a second attempt that went a lot better. We're obviously not counting it as like an official thing. But it was really cool to see that she wanted to try again. And
cool.
Yeah.
I love that the rooms are circular, as circular as you can be. My like designing person inside me finds that very attractive.
Yeah. Jess always makes, in my opinion, out of all the people I watch, Jess's bases are always my favorite because they always have really cool designs. And I know for her second attempt, she added the more planning mods so she could do her like color-based planning.
Yeah. It's a great mod.
Doesn't like squares exactly. Cody knows. And then just build a bunch of tables. And I don't know, Cody, if you know, but I was thinking that this might be an attempt to level up a constructor after the main constructor died.
Right.
That's what it looks like to me. But it could have just been like, oh, let's build tons of stuff. So let's build, right? 152 a table. Why not just build a bunch extra?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good way to use wood and just... and she's
Last
got
resort of getting wealth. Oh, interesting.
Nice.
Okay.
She's got a wall up on the right side of her water there, like in the northeast.
Oh,
To
yeah.
force people into the top of the water. So like a smaller kind of choke or whatever.
Yeah, so she has like these which just have like what is that called? Like an airlock basically. Like a little like just double door. Same with up here, the same thing, just wall with double door. And then like Toady said, looks like Jess was directing the fight to like come this way and down. So she has a wall going down on this side and a wall going up on this side. So they're walking through the slow marshy lands, and Jess's colonists are standing back here. Oh, look at that. Behind sandbags with also the option to choke point. That's pretty good.
Yeah. And then the fire poppers makes total sense. Love it.
Yeah, they didn't seem intimidated either, which is nice. Some people like Ever who don't like vanilla, anything, even had fun. Yeah. I think a part of the challenge was definitely vanilla. I think it would be good to have some quality of life mods in the future.
So funny. I love vanilla RimWorld. I love it so much. I don't ever want to ever play with mods ever.
That's so
I have
funny.
played with mods and there are some really, really fun ones. But I don't know, like...
Game doesn't need it.
It's just, it's just so good. And I find like what you would consider like restrictions, I feel like they force you to be creative.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just love it.
When is the next one? I'm not sure, Dawn. I'm not exactly sure. Not allowing to use quality of life mods is a war crime, like eating without a table. Yeah, I know, right? So that's definitely part of the challenge was trying to just make do with the base vanilla game with so many people being reliant on their quality of life mods. So Jess does have an animal here, an alpaca and a mare. Cool.
Right. Poor mare ones on their last legs.
I know. They just have some bruises. They're actually not bleeding out. It looks like they're dying though, because there's something underneath them that's forbidden. A bolt action. The weasel. This weapon bears an illustration of an empty bowler hat. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I like Jess's defenses a lot. Very cool.
Yeah.
Jay, ça va? How are you?
Bonjour.
That's about the extent that I can participate in this conversation.
Yeah, we got really into French last night. I don't remember why. Oh, I was playing Phasmo and you can speak French to the ghost, and so I tried to pretend to be a true Canadien.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I studied it back in the day when I was like a kid or you know, teen or whatever, but
yeah.
This is beautiful, Krillin.
Oh, I love God, Krillin. The man makes me smile so much. Yeah, he did the colored lights and he said during his stream, he's like, I don't know if this adds to wealth, but it adds to the funk or something along those lines.
That's amazing. Yeah, he had some fun with it. I personally won't read out his faction name on stream, but otherwise I'm very happy with all the ridiculousness. Krillin is also not as experienced with RimWorld, right?
Correct. Yeah, he is what we would probably consider pretty darn new.
This is amazing then.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he had a lot of fun with it. Krillin was one of the folks who did not know that things exploded. So he learned that live on stream. And a couple of us were in his chat giggling at him, and it was fantastic.
We have not given out any awards yet, Jim. That's coming up after we look at, I think this might be, Ever's Colony. Then we'll watch a clip reel that I put together, and then we'll do the awards. Yeah, Tova, we're still English only, but I know like basic phrases in French, so basic phrases in French are allowed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We're not like
properly
switching to French. No, you're great. I don't mind like a little hello. I think it's cute that Jay did that. I liked it. You got the best soup maker award, Jim. Exactly.
I heard Jim likes soup. Oh, also, can we get some happy birthdays in chat for Jim? Sorry, Jim. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
I think you're
Jim.
great.
Happy birthday, Jim. I mean, what? Yes, the wealth was 69690. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. It wasn't me this time.
Krillin was originally trying to get 69,420 wealth, and you can see there he's got a trader there, and so he spent a lot of time trying to get 69,420, trading with the trader and stuff. And so then he got his double 69. He's like, "That's it. I'm calling it there."
Yeah, that's also a really good number.
Yeah, and so then I did my run after he did. I was like, I'm gonna quote beat Krillin by getting his meme number that he could not achieve.
The
and then I had the
420.
Well, yeah, then I had this same scenario. I had a trader there, so good ability to manipulate the wealth, and I still couldn't get the exact 69,420. So I really failed in every sense.
I don't know. 69,419 is very good. It's
So
very
close.
close.
Yeah.
Just so everyone knows, it's not actually Jim's birthday, but Jim is a streamer and gets this a lot. So here we are.
Jim. I'm so sorry.
sorry.
Yeah, I don't think Krillin had like a very specific plan going into it. I suspect he just was like moving forward with the save, trying to survive, and just trying to kind of like build a colony that gained natural wealth kind of thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think when you're still learning the game with this kind of challenge, surviving is like the most important thing, right? Because he made it to the end with 8 colonists who are standing. He has rooms for them that are all really nice. He has like a nice like rec dining room, extremely impressive. He was like crafting, you know, this is a great turn.
Totally.
I looking at this would not recognize that he's inexperienced with the game until I looked for the defenses and then saw none. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only thing that shows me that he maybe doesn't play on Strive to Survive normally.
Right.
But
Totally.
he kept this colony alive and in good shape on Strive to Survive. So good heckin' job, Krillin.
With exploding pawns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so colorful. It is very cute. So yeah, folks, go give Krillin a follow as well. Awesome person. Super great to have them in this and get to know them better. And a great friend of the lovely.
If you do head over there, the man says some of the worst pee-pee poo-poo words ever. But is a fantastic human being. Just has a big old potty mouth. So just know that going into it.
Yeah. Well, and I'm 18 plus here, so we do allow the language. I talked about this before. I try not to use it on stream or in general, mostly because I'm a parent to a very young, impressionable person who would probably start repeating all those words immediately, and then the daycare would judge us in the fall. So thank you so much for the 100 biddies. I really appreciate it. Krillin's mouth is filthy, but
It's
delightful
true.
human.
It's true.
Krillin's a duck.
Is Ever the only one we have left, I think?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. This will be a treat.
Yeah,
because we know that from the highlights reel that Ever like is really good at wealth, right?
Yeah, Ever's really good at wealth, right, everyone? Ever was going to win this competition, right, everyone?
Yeah. Sorry, Ever. I don't mean to poop on you.
Ever is such a blast to watch playing RimWorld. He's gotten really into it lately, been new but very into learning it, and has had a lot of fun. Ever does build pretty nice looking bases, right? Like some of the other cities players has a little bit more of an eye for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And is definitely not as experienced with the game.
Yeah.
This is not Ever's first attempt. This is a second attempt that didn't go well.
Yeah, I saw someone in his chat, I think it might have been Dawn. I saw someone say, like, you play RimWorld the way that you play cities, and you build focused on, like, beauty first and then function after. And I was like, you know what? As a cities player, I understand that.
Yeah.
I get that wholeheartedly.
And I think that's great, especially on like Community Builder or even maybe Adventure Story, because you can really vibe with your building, but you still get that like occasional threat that's got you on your toes. And Ever did great. I mean, Ever's not used to vanilla, had to like remember about certain vanilla things. And
he's got some door cheese up at the north there.
Oh yeah.
Which we love to see.
Yeah. So the traps could be made safely.
Yep. Yep.
My biggest thing is the wooden walls, right? Because that's where his obviously this would have happened anyway, but the wooden walls cause some issues for sure in this playthrough especially, but like in RimWorld in general. Everything's on fire for the most part. Ray's not on fire, but Ray's dying. Dread and Marty are dead.
Ray the Muffalo.
Everyone started with 2 Muffalo, if anyone doesn't know. So everyone did get the same starting equipment, same starting colonists, and same starting Muffalo.
Yeah.
Never played on a winter map. That's right.
Yes. Yeah.
HR2. HR guy typically plays on warmer biomes where they get more year-round growing.
Right. Makes sense. Whereas I naturally, this is my favorite biome to play in.
Yeah.
I guess it's just the Canadian in me. But
I was going to say, I didn't want to say it, but I was going to say.
I love having the winter. Just, it's so calm and quiet. And
I was like, I feel like it's because we're like from the north. This biome feels like fitting.
Feels like home.
Yeah. The snow just melted earlier today. Tall trees. This is like home. But I normally, my most common maps are definitely temperate and arid shrubland. This is a boreal forest, which does mean you have a longer winter.
I think I just naturally always click boreal forest.
Yeah, it's very like middle. So 30 out of 60 means half the year you can grow, half the year you can't. That's pretty common to North America or parts of northern North America. And so that's like, I don't know, what you would typically expect. Temperate can go from 30 to 60, but depending on where it is in the map, it could be longer. These are all temperate.
Yeah.
Question, Ilana. Go ahead, Tova.
Jim, we also had a winter storm yesterday, and I feel like I heard it last night too.
One of the rules was that you could not move, correct? But you are allowed to go off the map to like mine or hunt, but all the wealth had to stay on this tile or had to be on this tile when you were done.
I didn't realize that, but I feel like it also just naturally made sense, like upping and hauling over to a new place would be such a time sink. I feel like it would potentially not be worth the trade-off in what you could be spending accumulating wealth instead.
Yeah, and I noticed some folks didn't even go trade because of that, because of the time spent on the road to go trade. I think I went out to go get advanced components or something like that, and it's kind of interesting how that time spent could have been used on other things. Biggest thing for the allowing people to go off the map was the ground penetrating and the long range scanning. I was curious if we put deep drilling in the start, which we did. It was already unlocked for everyone. If we put microelectronics in deep drilling, if people would want to go the research route and try to get long range or ground penetrating and then spend the time scanning and then spend the time drilling. I was wondering if anyone would try that strategy. I didn't really see a lot of it.
No. Do we know if, you've got a whole bunch of stuff, you've got a base on map A. If you start a caravan and bring that stuff in your caravan to go trade with a nearby friendly faction, do you still have that wealth during that traveling period? Because
I believe your wealth chart drops when your people go off the tile. When they're moving, they don't count. But if they settle somewhere, so like if someone had 2 colonies, basically, one being used for hunting, that wealth would be included into the faction wealth and would be like cheesy, which is why I said like at the end, you can only have 1 colony with everything in it.
Right.
Hi, Henday. Sort of. I mean, it's just a competition for fun.
One of my reasons for not going and trading was because I, again, always so scared of combat, wanted to have as many people at home for potential raids coming in. But if yeeting your people away to do a trade lowered your wealth substantially, then that would like lower the veracity of the raids coming in too. Interesting.
Yes, it does.
Interesting.
But when you have more than one person on the road, you show over 100% visibility, then you're like probably going to get ambushed on the road.
Right.
Right? And then it's like those people that are on the road need to be able to defend themselves. The people that are left behind need to be able to defend your base. What I typically do, which maybe isn't the right strat, but this is what I typically do. I typically send 1 or 2 decent fighters, leaving the entirety of the rest of the colony, even if they're not as good of fighters, because the rest of the colony has defenses around them, whereas the ambush caravan people won't.
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense. And if I am playing a run where I have like a cougar or a panther or whatever, I usually send it on the caravans too.
For an extra, even if it's not the right person, you can like temporarily assign them to protect that other person and they'll help. Yeah. Ambushing chances go way up with difficulty 2. Strive to survive is usually okay for bringing less colonists. Yeah. Also know that if you bring more than 1 colonist, you increase your chance of an ambush dramatically. But I always bring more than 1 because if they need tending, I always freak out if they're by themselves. It's scary.
Yeah, unless you have someone who is both a fantastic doctor and combat guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Cool. Well, so I think that brings us to the next clip reel.
Yeah, made by the one, the only, Orama Alana.
Orama Alana. Yeah, that's me. Hi, I did this. Let's see. What did I do? I made a video.
That's true, Jim.
Wait, where's my video?
Gang, this video highlights how much fun these darn 11 streamers had with their runs. And it's really worth, if you see a moment in this reel that you're like, oh, golly gee, that's so funny, this person would be fun to watch, please go find them, go watch them. Because, we appreciate every person. We find every person that participated to be extremely entertaining and worth watching.
Yeah, and it was cool that they decided to partake, and obviously they like RimWorld, and you all like RimWorld, so go check them out. Well, their link is in the link tree. Look at the link tree that Toady put together while we're running this reel, and see if you want to give them all follows.
You cannot tell Alana that I've done this, but I am cheating on the mods front. I have 1 mod installed. 2! I have 2 mods installed. One is Don't Stop the Music, and the other one is P Music, and neither of them affect the gameplay. But when I send Alana the save file, I'm going to save it without those mods installed. And then she'll never know, because no one will clip this.
Come over here and don't let this thing burn up. It's really far. It might burn up. No, but no. It's good food. Oh, no. It burned.
Oh my. Okay, this looks a little bit too. I used buffalo wool to make this. That's looking religious, but that's not what it's for.
Maybe we'll just start over. Come on. Come on. What are you doing? Get down here. No! It was a good run. Oh, man.
Cosmic, why don't you hurl insults at LMS while she tries to save Darl's life? Okay.
She literally just vaporized in front of us.
Get him! Darlinator, get closer. Quick. Quick. Get him! Get him! No! I'm sorry, Osiris. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have even named you. That sucks.
No, Ras. I'm definitely not getting tired. I'm definitely not getting tired. Help me. Please.
Oh my god, that's right, they explode. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. This is why I shouldn't go in melee. Okay.
Okay, but like, can we do this again? $99%. They died. This is bad news. I know, we're working on it. Superheated air and all. Things seem fine. Things are not fine. Things are not fine.
Grab the gold. Okay? Let's get out of here. Cosmic, where are you going? Oh, you're grabbing all of it. Oh, look at you. You're a hero. They're throwing up. Yes. Portrait artist, misandrist. No. But do you have gear? Oh, you have recon armor. Okay.
Ilana's back. Ilana, get out of here, you.
100. How is my wealth not changing? Oh my god, some dromedaries have joined us. Holy crap. All right, animals. I need the animals. I need animals. Dromedaries. Allow them in. Allow the dromedaries in.
The kidney should be worth the same as before, right? 900, right? Kidneys are worth 900, but because they had to have two, we're always going to do that.
Just bear with me for a second here, if you don't mind. Just bear. It does not appear that that is okay. All right. I think it was worth a shot.
Melee attack, or actually try to arrest. How do I? 83%. Oh, because he's distracted. I arrested the wrong person! Oh no! I arrested Mono! Drop him!
Blue Squid, is this insider info? Golf scoring? Oh my god! I'm over it.
Can we... B, can you alert Alana that Jim was having a moment? And everything's okay.
I had to include that one, Jim. I had to. Arresting the wrong person is rough for sure.
So good.
I hope y'all enjoyed it. Obviously there were tons more like great moments from everyone's turns, but I just picked some of the highlights that I either knew about or that the various streamers communities clipped for us. Yeah, it's just great. And there were so many that I couldn't even use because like I wanted to feature everyone at least a little bit.
Yeah, it was good.
Very good. Yay! Okay, so guess what that means, people? I feel like I should exit out of RimWorld because I'm going to be really mad at myself if I hit 3,000 hours while sitting here in the menu screen.
Oh, yeah.
So let's just go to these palm trees that I took a picture of in my travels. All right, so Toadie's going to do the first category. Toadie, would you like me to reveal the award right away or let me know when?
Well, I think I was gonna go from like the bottom up.
Okay, I love that. Do that.
Right? Yeah. Okay. So again, we have like 4 categories to talk about today. And our first one is the highest number of colonists by the end of the run. So what's extra fun about this is that we had 3 streamers who had 0 colonists. So we can please, big round of applause for Jess, Ever, and Jazzy, who had 0 colonists at the end of their runs. Congrats all. And then going up from there, we have HR with 4. We have the old Bippity Bops with Bopper with 5. Myself with 6 colonists. Krillin, which pretty impressive for being such a new guy, with 8 colonists. And these top ones are so close. So then Drongo ended with 9, Jim ended with 10, and our winner, Vero Wacko Wacko Whack, had 11 colonists at the end of her run.
That's impressive for 10 hours to add
darn
6
impressive.
colonists who are still alive.
Yep, still alive, and she was not aware of the exploding. We know Vero is very skilled in the
good
video
at
game.
RimWorld.
Yeah, and I think this run of hers shows that.
Yeah,
so she did really well. Yeah,
that's a soccer team. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super impressive, Veruak. Very nice size colony for sure.
Speaking of people who are really good at this video game, there is an honorable mention here to Alana Orama, who ended her run with 14 colonists. But we don't count.
Yeah, we don't count because we knew that most colonists was a category. So, like, I was striving for that, and that's an unfair imbalance. But also, with me going first, I was kind of like trying to point people towards like building big colonies. But you know, we didn't reveal these award categories. So, congrats to Veruak, absolutely awesome. And just like for a little side note, I recruited every single person that was in the Crypto Sleep Caskets of the Ancient Danger.
Yeah.
Except for I think one of them was hostile, but everyone else that lived from that experience, I recruited all of them.
Yeah.
I forgot there were categories. Yeah, there were multiple categories and only one was revealed, the highest wealth, which we'll do last.
Yes.
So, and I'll share these like awards in the Discord if y'all want to keep them. It's just for funsies, of course, but we wanted something to show off.
Yeah. And these were made by
Easy Breezy, who's also a really fun, cozy variety streamer and my amazing mod. So I'm going to do the thing real quick. There you go. Yeah, so Bree offered to help out with the little things because I was like, Bree, you're good at this. Can you help me? So the next category I'm going to go over was also one that I was aware of and focused on. But I was actually a little bit surprised to see the presence or lack thereof in each colony. Yeah. So we had 6 people that had 0. 6 people with 0. And the category is highest value pet. And we had 6 streamers who didn't have any pets. 0 pets, 0. Extra special shout out to Everdream, who kept Ray the Muffalo alive longer than all of his colonists. Ray the Muffalo was dying on the ground in that colony and worth 30 silver, given the damage he had taken.
Yeah.
Classic. So a nice shout out to Ever for keeping the Muffalo alive. Then in 3rd place of this category, we have Bloody Drongo with Dromedary 2. Dromedary 2 did show up and decided to join Drongo's community. Is worth 197 silver.
Pretty darn good.
Veruak in 2nd place with Ibex Ram 1, worth 250 silver. And our winner, Whoa, Jess and Mare 1.
Woo! Yeah, let's hear it from Mare 1. Really
Mare 1.
holding that colony together.
Really holding the colony together. Maybe even considered the leader of the colony at this point, given what remains.
Right.
Um,
Yes.
So I did use an inspired taming to get a mega sloth in my colony. So
Mhm.
again, I would have totally rigged it. But I knew about the categories, so I knew to strive for that. And those
Mhm.
animals did add to my wealth, as we talked about before, for sure.
Mhm. Gunt, you're such a goober. As one of the 6 people who had no animals at the end of it, my personal reason was because I couldn't feed them. Golly, oh gee, I could not feed them, and so instead I ate them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really
Um,
fair. I did
yeah.
say to Toady in our chats that I kind of waited to the end to start like
Mhm.
taming wildly, like the raccoons and things. If I did it towards the end, I didn't have to worry about feeding them long term.
Yeah. Super smart.
But I also didn't want to kill any of the animals because they'd explode in my face.
Yes. Yep. Nice. Well, our third category, our penultimate category. I think I actually do think this is my favorite category.
Yeah, do you want me to pull it up? I think I should pull it up.
Yeah.
Well, I'll pull up the one
Oh,
when
the
you
winner?
announce it. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I think that's a great idea. So this third category is for the most impressive room still existing as a room at the end of the colony. Another huge, fantastic shout out to our dreamer, weaver, memer, deeber, goober, so ever dream, whose most impressive room at the end of his colony was his awful laboratory with its impressiveness of -82. So ever, nicely done. Going up from there,
Negative
we have
only.
we have Jess with the slightly impressive bedroom of 56 impressiveness. HR with a very impressive hospital at 91 impressiveness.
Oh, no.
We have
Hospital.
Bippity Bops with a very impressive dining room at 109. Just squeezing above Bops with my own very impressive dining room of 111. Then we move to Jadzi, who has a very impressive barracks of 114. And then just squeezing above with her own very impressive barracks of 117 is Vero. And then we move to the Jam Gym with a very impressive rec room at 118. Alana goes next at an extremely impressive dining room. Love the food at 120. And then our newcomer to the game, Krillin, has an extremely impressive tomb in second place here with 127 impressiveness. And our winner of this category, most impressive room, is the bloody Drongo himself with 3 rooms, each with 145 impressiveness, with an extremely impressive rec room, barracks, and workshop. Bloody Drongo, just killing it with the base
Oh.
building. Yeah.
Me just
done.
realizing where the tomb is in Krillin's colony. Yeah,
Yeah.
congrats, Drongo. Awesome. We'll look at Drongo's in a second, but I pulled up Krillin's, and this tomb is actually a wrecked dining room that just so happens to have the remains of Michael. Michael to the Sarah.
Oh, Michael to the Sarah. Good human. But
let's
yeah, I
look
think
at
that's great that
Drongo's.
it's considered a tomb.
Yeah. Yeah, you mentioned that it was like the category was interesting. I didn't think about it.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
And then Drongo just blown it out of the water with 3 full
Yeah.
rooms, each at 145 impressiveness.
Wow.
Nicely done. So yeah, the rec
That's
room,
like
the barracks,
all
and
of
the
his
workshop.
rooms too. Like if you think about it, there's a couple of storage rooms, but like basically the rooms that Drongo's colonists spent all their time in were all really nice for them to spend. Carpet research
absolutely.
paying off.
Yeah. Yeah, and the carpet's so visually pleasing. I love that shade of yellow. That's a really nice yellow.
That is a nice yellow. Very cool. I wonder how nice this would be. Oh, is this a room? Oh, it is a room. 91, very impressive, this room, just because there's like nice steel tile over here.
Yeah. Did we show the actual award
I did
on
not.
screen?
You're right.
No. Hey, the award.
Drongo!
Clap, 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 clap. Nicely done.
Congrats, Drongo. That's super cool. And like we said, Drongo did very well. Makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
Overall, we'll go into this next. So the next category, the ultimate category, the one that everyone knew about, is highest wealth, right? That was the original challenge, race to wealth, race to riches. And this was the only category everyone knew about.
Yeah.
It should be noted that everyone also knew as of the 4th of March that in 10 hours, I achieved 164K. As mentioned, we didn't count ourselves as real participants for the awards because of our insider knowledge. But we shared that information with everyone to see if anyone could get near there or maybe even pass it. So we're going to look at wealth, starting with the bottom. Our friend So Everdream, who had to do a restart and had a dead colony at the end, achieved a wealth of 23,000.
And now this is not an April Fool's joke.
Otherworld, thank you so much for 21 months. I appreciate all your heck and support, friend. So 23,000, obviously that's in large part because of a bunch of things burning down before the end and the colonists being dead. Very, very good efforts ever. Jadziax, who also lost the colony before the end, ended with 47,000. HR guy who had to do several restarts actually ended with 50,000 in his last attempt. And if you think about the fact that there's multiple attempts, 50,000 is actually pretty good. And we have a few people that landed there either because of restarting or because of some death towards the end. So that's HR had 50,000. Bops had just slightly more than that with 50.6. And then Jess with 50.8. So 50,800 silver. Very, very close, all of them. And as a reminder, there were restarts or lost colonies towards the end of each of those runs. Toady and Krillin then, who both kept their colonies alive through the entirety of their attempt, both got 69,000, with Toady getting 69,420. I'm rounding it. Because it has to be. It was one off. That stinks. So good. And then Krillin, 69,690. A beautiful number.
Yeah.
And then we come to our winners, our top 3 people. You could tell just by looking at the bases. You can tell. Virowac had 130,000. This space is impressive. It's sizable. There's lots of growing. There's defenses all over and tons of colonists. So congrats to Virowac, who placed 3rd in the Wealth Challenge.
Nicely done.
Very nicely done. And then we have our second place person, who is Bloody Drongo, who, like I also said, you could just tell looking at the base. Look at the space. It's beautiful. It's well organized. There's lots of nice things, nice floors, lots of resources. Drongo did really great. What's that?
Good defenses.
Oh, yeah. Good defenses. And 137.5 thousand in silver or wealth at the end. And then we come to our winner, who was the one person to get higher overall wealth, Mr. J Jam Jim.
Woo!
Did 176,000 final wealth, Jim. Very nice.
Classy.
Super, super great to see. Jim, as we said, towards the end, Jim was just building a bunch of stuff to do a final push. Jim mined everything on the map, which is brilliant.
Blue
And a bunch of plant pots. You know, the power of plant pots has been revealed today.
Yeah. Also, I think an ad's starting because I am not going to be able to snooze it, but it will just chat a little bit. Unless you need a break. Do you need a break?
I'm fine. I'm good. I'm easy.
The power of steel plant box. Yeah, for real. So everyone, you might get a break, an ad here, but we're just chatting. We did reveal the winner.
Yeah, no stress.
GG's Jim, it was fun to watch. So I didn't get to watch as much of everyone's turns as I would have liked to. Just been a crazy month for me, but it was really cool. I did see some of the end of gyms, and I did see some of this happening, like plasteel sculptures and these chess tables. Like, so Jim, did you scan? Oh, you did.
He did.
So Jim did scan and look for good resources.
Yeah. Made
and
use of the deep
drill.
Yeah.
Deep
Yeah,
drill the heck out of stuff. So that's how you came up with all that plasteel. I was thinking that. I was like, it looks like there's a lot of plasteel considering. Figured that was the play.
Smart.
Yeah. Show what he's built. So we got marble shelves over here. We got granite shelves. We got a room here where all the production benches have, we got extra tool cabinets, we got art, and we got armchairs, sculptures everywhere. Everything's floored or smooth, at least all the rooms are. So smooth walls are worth a lot, right? This is a little bit, I know, Jim, you experienced some issues with this, but this is quite the, like, risky hospital there. Everyone on top of each other.
Dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, a big stockpile room with lots of resources, things. I see excellent long swords, so you're crafting, cowboy hats. You killed, it looks like you killed all the thrumbos you could probably get your hands on, which looks to be about 3. Interesting. So this is something, Jim, like me, you don't normally do in your runs, but it looks like you did yayo production. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Make go juice and yayo. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a good wealth strat. And then we did talk about this earlier. Jim did do the Ancient Danger and claimed all the structures as well as mined everything on the map. So there's wealth out here that you can't see that's absolutely contributing.
Yeah. Yeah. Smart cookie.
Yeah. I mean, and it's funny because, like, you know, I've been watching Jim play RimWorld for like 3 years, and I've learned a lot from Jim, and it feels really cool to be like still learning things from Jim today, right? I love it.
Yeah.
All the little tricks, yeah. And how different we all approached it. Like, very different approaches. Like Jim getting all these buildings up, I didn't even consider doing the hard drugs, to be honest, because I just don't normally do it.
Yeah.
But
and he had the defenses set up to be able to weather the raids that the wealth brought.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah. He has the singularity kill box here, which is a very effective design. And then everything else is enclosed. Yeah.
Nice, Cody.
100 hours more playtime this last month because of this challenge. Nice. I'm so glad that you're enjoying the challenge. Thank you, Ilana and Toady, for putting this together. It's super heckin' fun. Jim, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. It's super cool to see the different styles and just in general, like, I really enjoy the RimWorld community here on Twitch and all you heckin' lovelies. And I love the idea of just bringing us together for more fun adventures like this, you know?
Yeah.
What does Henday say? Optimal resource gathering, diversified production into art, furniture, and drugs. Very smart play. Yeah. Every approach. Yep. And he did the Ancient Danger, which is one thing that's like untapped wealth if you don't do it. I was really curious about the scanning and the deep drilling. I wondered if anyone would take the leap and take the chance to spend the time scanning and if it would pay off. And it looks like it did. Now, I don't know. Jim still might have won even if he didn't do that. But definitely seems like it was a good idea.
Yeah, and especially the fact that he took a lot of advantage of the fact that everything on the map contributes to the wealth, right? Like, every single possible thing that could be mined is mined and there. So yeah, it's good
for sure. I love it. I had so much fun with this. Oh, there's more plasteel right here. So like plasteel, right? Like it's $9 each. I wonder how much he had on the map. I don't know if I can. Oh, over here maybe? No, it's not in stockpile. So most of his plasteel, it does appear he put into actual buildings like the chess tables.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry.
Yes, good point. If anyone is looking to try the same challenge on your own for fun, the save file is in my Discord, and I believe Toadie's going to drop it in her Discord as well for all of her community members. So if you're following either of us and in one of our Discords, then you can give the exact same scenario a try for yourself.
I might, I don't know. I want to say that I'll give it another go on my own without the stress of like trying to show off for other people, but
yeah, like
I'm just
try to
stressing
beat your
myself out.
own. I was thinking like to try to beat my own levels, like to try to improve my own thing. But I always figure like the best way to compete is against yourself. And with this group, I knew that we were all here to have fun. And maybe some people would get a little bit sweaty with it for sure. I know I did, even though I wasn't a contestant. It's like I still got sweaty with it because I wanted to try my best and have like as impressive of a score as I could.
Yeah, absolutely.
Justin, but with some quality of life mods, absolutely. Putting a time limit on your file is so strange. Yeah. The time limit
really changed the game. Yeah. And it changed the game in like multiple ways, right? Because in some things it made it feel like not worth spending the time doing, like going and trading or whatever.
Or like me with the scanning. I didn't think it was worth the time, but maybe it was.
Yeah. And then on the other side of things, like you with the animals, it made it so that you could try to like pack in things near the end of the run where you wouldn't have to suffer the consequences of them.
Yeah.
Really
like,
fun.
do we think that I honestly could have kept that colony of 14 people fed for like another year? Probably not without growing
animals?
more. Like,
No.
and the animals, no way. I would have released a bunch of them.
That's how I ended up killing my animals. Was I released them and then shot them from afar.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I was thinking that because slaughtering them, I actually, in my run, I could show you all real quick. I'm pretty sure in my colony, I did something, I think, kind of funny. I don't know if anyone else thought to do this. But I decided to keep my crypto sleep caskets built because I figured there's like wealth in them being built, like more than the broken up pieces. I don't know. But 3 of them have something in them. And if you look, it's a spelopede, a mega spider, and a mega spider, because I had an infestation here in this storage room, which is why part of the roof is missing, apparently. And I had an infestation in the storage room, and we fought them right here. And, like, some of my stockpiles were on fire because of that. And so instead of finishing off the last couple spiders that were there, they're still alive in here.
Yeah.
Like, we could get Reza to come up here. Let's see. I feel like Reza's in every colony of mine. It's fine. Look at the draw, right? Yeah, and there's a spider that's just like now they're a lot better off, I guess, but I thought they were gonna die, so I put them in a casket. I also felt like a little bit of defenses, and then as you can see, we either didn't use them. No, we didn't use them. Perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, I super had fun with this. I definitely plan on having additional ragtag events in the future. Yes. I just think it's fun to bring the RimWorld community together.
Yeah. It's good. And to try a bunch of different things, right? Like this is something that I would never have done.
Never try on our own. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cody said it feels strange to play normal RimWorld now. There's no explosions. Yeah, we're all traumatized from the explosions for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
The next time I streamed RimWorld, I was like, everything is going to explode. And then
Yeah.
80 billion RimWorlders here. Sure. Which is better, Hyperweaver Synth Red for a duster? Honestly, I don't know. I would check the wiki. I feel like if I've ever gotten my hands on them, I've just made them into dusters. Because they both would be really good materials for Duster. Hyperweave, I should imagine. Yeah, great question, Tova. We have no idea. Come back in 3,000 more hours, please. Hunting is better in the rain. So hunting is better in the rain when everything explodes upon death, surely. And in this playthrough, also because everything explodes upon death, like hunting in the snow in the winter was better.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, I'm like looking
Yep.
at my map. Y'all can't see it, but it's fine. I need food. And I think I am probably gonna switch to some gaming.
Ooh, did you guys know that there's video games that are out there? That's fun.
I mean,
Sorry.
unless there's anything else, Tody, you wanted to do, I think that's the plan since I usually stream a couple more hours than this.
No, I think I'm just gonna go whine at my husband and try to get him to feed me.
That sounds smart.
Yeah.
I'll do the same.
Yeah.
Everyone, make sure you go and give Tody a follow if you hadn't. New
Good luck,
name,
Tim.
same lovely turd as always. Tody ZZZ on Twitch and on YouTube. And thank you again, Tody. It's been heckin' awesome. So glad we collabed on this.
Yeah, thank you for having me. You guys are great. Your community's pretty cool.
I really appreciate you, Tody. We'll see you next time. Oh, let me do it this way.
Wait, what? What? Oh,
I was
okay.
rectangling for you.
Yeah. Sorry, it's just a delay and stuff. Sorry.
No worries. All right, Fred. So we're going to go on a little break, and I'm going to get some noms, and we'll come back and we'll play some of my RimWorld Colony. Sound good? Sound good.